What's good, y'all? Great House Hoops TV, back with another one. Wanted to talk about power rankings, NBA viewership, who I think are the main contenders in the league right now. So for starters, let's talk about main contenders. Obviously Boston, and I would say the Cavs, are right behind them. And then in the West, surprisingly, as competitive as the West is, I feel like out of the top 7 teams in the West, any one of them could come out. It's like literally a dogfight in the West right now. It's crazy because you never expected that. We expected, the Timberwolves to be, better than they are. We expected Denver to be better than they are. A lot of the Clippers, a lot of these teams, they're just getting by. It's just man, I would have thought they would have been way better. And one of my best friends, he's a Timberwolves fan, and he was excited about the Randall Anthony Towns trade. And I was telling him back then, I was like, it's too clunky of a fit. I don't think it's going to fit right with Randall starting next to Rudy Gobert. I just don't see it working in their favor. And here we are. It just hasn't been working. And DiVincenzo hasn't been playing good either, but I know he'll get out of that. He'll bounce back. And he's playing a position that it's easy for him to, get his game back rolling. But the Timberwolves, very surprising with the Timberwolves, because I expected more. I thought they were taking another step, but I mean, obviously not. And then Denver, I know what their problem is. They lost too many of the role players that I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna say too many, but losing KCP and losing Bruce Brown, we all know now that you need defenders on your team. And it seems like Jamal Murray has taken a step back. And Michael Porter Jr., I mean, to be honest with you, he's all offense. Aaron Gordon can't stay healthy. So it's that team, they'll have a couple good wins for sure. They're going to get their wins, but as far as winning a championship, I think they're way behind when it comes to actually being able to contend for a championship. That's just my personal opinion. Also, looking at the Clippers. Now, I didn't expect too much from them, but I expected them to be rolling a little bit better. Just because even with losing Paul George, you look at that team, they still have pieces to compete. Kawhi is obviously hurt. We know that. And I guess they're treading water until he gets back. But I just was expecting a little bit more. I don't know how everybody else feels about the West, but it's just been a little clunky. A lot of those upper echelon teams are losing to teams that they shouldn't be losing to. The Lakers, the Magic game is biting them right now because they should have closed that game out. Last night, even another game. If Will Hardy wasn't part of the Tank Fest in Utah, then what? That was a basket. Colin Sexton was literally about to seal the game. And I don't care what he says, that was part of the Tank Fest. He was doing that to tank. That's why he did that. We all know this. It's not a secret at all. We all know that Utah is tanking. And the objective for the Utah Jazz is to compete, but not win that many games. We know that that's the case. So again, like the Lakers, I expected them to be better. I mean, but I'm looking at their team personnel wise, and it's just like, man, like I don't know. Even the Lakers fan base, I don't know what more they can expect. And even me, like, I'm a LeBron fan. I'm not a Lakers fan, I'm a LeBron fan. But I could see why they would expect more. But when you look at the personnel on the team, it's just like, man, like I just don't see it. I don't see that team competing as is. I'm actually a Mavericks fan. I've been a Mavericks fan my whole life. And even with my Mavericks, we're rolling, we're playing okay ball, but I don't know. It's just been very clunky this year. Like there's no clear cut, oh, okay, we know for a fact on the West that hey, they're going to the NBA finals. On the East, it's just like it's Boston and Cleveland. And then the East, oh man, like those teams in the East are terrible. Like, you got Boston and you got Cleveland, and everyone else is barely 500 or probably just over 500. But, man, it's been crazy. And then back to the West, we got the Golden State Warriors. And I knew they were going to come back to reality. When your offense is predicated on you shooting three-pointers, what we all know, this is a make and miss league. So, yeah, you might have games where as a team you shoot 52% from three-point range. But there also are going to be games where your team is shooting 27% from three-point range. So when your offense is all about three-pointers and getting the best three-point shots available, you're going to have games, or you're going to not have games, you're going to have losing streaks when people aren't hitting those same shots. Like, don't get me wrong, Buddy Hield is a great player, a great role player. Like, he's a damn good shooter. But on a team like the Warriors, you can't put the type of pressure that comes with playing on the Golden State Warriors on a guy like Buddy Hield. And that's not to slight him, but it's just like, okay, so he was having a bunch of good games. Then when he doesn't have a few good games, then you start to lose. What I'm saying is with them, they definitely need to make a move. They need something over there. Like, they need someone else that can take on the scoring load from Steph. They need like someone that's like switchable, like on the perimeter. They need some pieces in Golden State for sure. But I will say, out of the Western Conference teams, Golden State has definitely been surprising. I didn't expect them to come out the gate as hot as they were, for sure. Didn't expect that. But they definitely can use some pieces. And talking about Golden State, it's like when I started this video, I was talking about I want to talk about viewership. I feel like viewership is down because of all the other things attached to the game. So, contracts, money, luxury tax, collective bargaining agreement, those things, like, before, obviously they always affected the game, but not as much as they are now. So, case in point, Golden State. Jonathan Kuminga wanted this summer, I think he wanted $150 million. They said no. I think they offered him $100, and and they said no. They offered him $100, and he said no. So the season comes into play. Kuminga goes to the bench. And I kind of wish Kuminga would have took that 100. I really do. I kind of wish he would have took that 100, man. I really do. Because now, with him being on the bench, he's not getting the minutes. He's not getting, like, the same touches. Now his value is down. So now it's like it favors Golden State because now they can offer him something less than what they offered in the summer. And to me, it's stuff like that. Like, to me, that's just bad business. To me, that's just not right. I don't agree with that. The guy is one of your better players. Been playing hard for the last couple years. Young guy, he's working. Because he doesn't sign a contract, now he's coming off the bench. In a limited role at that. So, I think things like that are starting to play into viewership. Because people are starting to realize that a lot of these teams, it seems like they don't care about the sport as much as the business side. And as a fan, like, and maybe they should. Maybe they should. Like I'm not an NBA owner, you know, so I don't know. I'm looking at it as a fan. So as a fan, you want to see high quality basketball at all times. At all times, that's what you want to see. You don't want business getting in the way of high quality basketball, but it seems like that's what's going on. And then another thing I'm seeing with viewership, no one has been able to take the mantle. Like right now, if we look up NBA viewerships, like based off players, right? Based off certain teams that have certain players. LeBron is gonna be probably at the top of that list. He's gonna be leaving soon. We don't have that next generational superstar to take the mantle from him. Not saying that people aren't like talented or they're, you know, they don't have eye-opening like talent, but there's something else to it. Like, you know, other than having the talent, LeBron has something else with him. As the young kids say now, aura. Like, his aura and his talent brings you LeBron James. These other people, they're super talented or they have aura. Like, crazy aura. We don't have people who have both right now. If that makes sense. Like I said, this is my opinion. But once he leaves, I feel like the viewership is going to go down even more. Because, again, we don't have that person to come in and take the mantle from him. You know, like we don't have that person in the league to, all right, give me the crown now. We don't have that. And I know people with certain teams will say, oh, this guy or that guy. Like, you know, some people, oh, it's Jokic. It's Luka. And don't get me wrong, like those guys are amazing. And I'm a Mavericks fan, so Luka, you know, I'm always rooting for Luka. But it does not seem like we have that guy. And if you look at all the past eras, there's always been a guy. There's always been a guy. But like, even, and I know like the NBA is looking at this because look at NBA 2K, right? When you want to start a season with a particular team or whatever, right? You can go back to certain eras. On those eras, I think I was playing yesterday. I think it was Larry Bird and Magic era, Jordan era, Kobe's era, LeBron's era, Steph's era. And then it says modern era now. Who's that player now that's like pushing the league forward right now? Who is it? But again, man, this is Great House Hoops TV. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I want to build this channel up. I want to have more basketball conversations, lives, phone-ins, whatever. You know, like all things basketball. Let's talk about it. If you don't agree with my takes, whatever, let's talk about it. All right, Great House Hoops TV.